Wonderful question. How do you write a character someone doesn't like? I am a big fan of villains who are relatable or have understandable premises or likable villains, but I'm a bigger fan of people just being the worst and bad guys just being bad because some people are just bad. They're just evil. And I find that more often more appealing. It's just some people are just darkness in their heart and they're just bad people. So that's something I kind of explore in my books and something I look into. But how do you make a character just unlikable? Well, the easiest way, I think, is to just have them hurt something weaker than them. Everyone hates a bully. And it's the John Wick method, right? You take out the puppy, you introduce the puppy, you introduce a character that hurts the puppy. Easy enough, right? But that can scare people off. And not every unlikable character is a puppy kicker, right? One method I like to use, or I think is good, is you just let them get away with things. The more a despicable person gets away with something, the more the audience is going to hate them because they keep getting away with it. And it's the Breaking Bad reference. He can't keep getting away with it. You don't want to push this too far and never give the audience that cathartic final moment. But if you let them get away with a lot, especially if it's realistic how they get away with things, like you have a character who's passive aggressive in a really obnoxious way and they just don't get called out on it over and over, they keep being passive aggressive, then when a character finally calls them out on it, it's super cathartic for the reader, right? Here's a quote I like. I don't know its origin, but it's basically, and pardon my French in this quote, people will forgive a villain, but they won't forgive an asshole. Right? So the more despicable you make someone, the question is, how do you make someone despicable? As a writer, one method you could use is just choose someone in your life you've encountered that you can't stand and write them. Make some changes, but write them. The more realistic the villain, the more likely people are going to be to hate them. Like, for example, the character Mara in my books, there's some question as to whether or not she even is a villain. People just don't like her from the beginning because she's associated with someone who is a villain. Her actual intentions and whatnot are suspicious, but no one has any actual evidence that she's actually bad. She just gives off bad vibes up to this point. And that, I think, is the core. Is people are reminded of her. People who see her are reminded of like their high school bullies, and that's another point. Is make a bully. Everyone hates a bully, right? But yeah, those are just a few easy tips of mine for how to make a good unlikable character. Make him a bully. Make him irredeemable. Make him get away with things.